Our next performer is a poet named Rigz. He's a founding member of Chaos Theory, and he uses poetry to describe the beauty and pain of the human spirit. He's got an electric style and performs like a tidal wave, riding the ebb and flow of the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigz.
I'm starting a revolution, so sexually deep, that your clit will come out of the jungle wearing a camouflage bandana strapped with an M16. Your breasts will feed malnourished babies of third world countries, whose eyes cry in the dark, looking for serenity. Your lips, glazed like lakes, quench thirst so deep that deep in the Sahara, they no longer dance for rain. Your eyes, like two pools of oil reflecting your inner fire, burn like alcohol-fueled bellies, pushing inhibitions towards the licking flames of freedom. Do you hear the drums calling you? Like a desperate lover, licking your heartbeat, making it taste like a potpourri mix you said you didn't mean to swallow. Cause tomorrow, when the scent of this moment has long gone away, I want you to be left with more than just the memory of me walking away and you begging me to stay. I want to haunt you. Like the recurring sensation of my tongue, running up and down your body like the rise and fall of the sun, and an orgy of bloodlust, angel wings and pixie dust. I'm starting a revolution so sexually deep that it'll be televised, digitized, and sold in every bookstore for $3.99. Price check, aisle 3. What's for sale? Me. The buyer, you. And each breath we take causes the inferno to move. She says she likes it. Well, baby, there's nothing rougher than foreclosures after working 16-hour shifts for minimum wage. Nothing rougher than finding your missing child's picture on the newspaper's front page. Nothing rougher than the stage. She dances in a cage. No bars, one pole, stripped down bare naked to the soul, but still wearing a mask woven together from the torn pieces of a broken home. I love her. Her body intoxicates me. Her moves create dreams. Her shadow dances over me. I inhale the fantasy. She pivots and pirouettes on pedicured and polished toes, peeking through the Cinderella stilettos. You can see clear to the soul. An imperfect rose, once sown with ink and needle on her perfect skin, struggles to bloom, growing underneath the smoke and black lights. Last night, I discovered that past wounds don't always heal. CoverGirl couldn't manufacture enough makeup to conceal the scarred parts of her broken heart. Bullet wounds texture her skin, remind me she's real, but real doesn't seem to fly these days. It's all about getting paid and trying to pay off the landlord with overdraft receipts when the rent is late. She represents a demographic of women that struggle with the same fate, the same state. Child support in Section 8, domestic violence and victims of rape, swimming in a cesspool of society that consistently spits in her face. Wait! I'm starting a revolution. I'm starting a revolution. I'm starting a revolution so sexually deep that when I end, you begin. Men love her. Like the first breath released from your newborn. Premature, 2 months in advance. Fragile, handled with care. Men hug her like she just drew your picture in crayon. Men remind her she's beautiful. In a way she's never been told. They all stand alone, waiting for a reason, something to believe in. I am that something. I am that reason. We are the revolution. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. By a round of applause, how many people have seen spoken word poetry before? That's good. I like that. That's a good crowd. I appreciate that. All right. I'm going to do another poem real quick, and then I'm going to come back later in the second set because there's so much talent that's going to be coming through this stage right now. It's amazing. You guys are in for a really good show. I got to see half of it in the rehearsals. Fantastic. All right. Real quick before I go, I'm part of a slam team called Chaos Theory. If you would like to see any videos, download free music, any of that stuff, please check me out on facebook.com/onlinechaos or Twitter @OnlineCast. All right, enough of the self-promo, and here's another piece for you. I hope you like it. She says I don't write her love poems anymore, and unfortunately, she's right. But it's not for lack of trying, it's the limitations of language. Like handing a photograph to the blind, running your fingertips over the exposure and trying to describe the sight of an orange moon over the Miami skyline, or humming for the deaf a symphony written on butterflies' wings. See, I find it's more difficult to paint you a portrait in ink than to grab a handful of water, but love, know this. I would stand between you and the ocean, letting the waves come crashing down on my back, beating my body away from the shores of life itself and allow the tides to rise and wash away you, my one perfect grain of sand. You were not easy to find, but I found it effortless to recognize, so I do not understand the fishermen who cast wide nets, trying to catch as much as they can, yet still come home to complain about the one that got away. They say there's always more fish in the sea. Yes. But you are not a fish. You are a galaxy. And I will use my hands to explore your infinite deep. My mouth lighting the fires of intimacy, and my skin will learn your body's history like studying ancient civilizations, because you are a hieroglyphic. A tattoo written under my skin. You are a memory from a past life, a prayer spoken from the lips of God to remind us the importance of every second. So now I write about the time we spend together, trying to link a series of moments like a game of connected dots, hoping that when you step back, you'll see the bigger picture like a Georges Seurat. After all, what do I look like as a craftsman, not presenting you with the labor of love, or you a carpenter's wife with nothing made by her husband? So this, my dear, is a cherry wood dresser. Mahogany brown closet doors, and when opened expose my heart. This is a soliloquy, written in silence, performed with humility during our next argument, because what's the point of writing poetry if I only use words to curse you out at the first sign of conflict? You deserve better. So I will be better. Chiseling away at these 26 letters until the only thing left on the page is my devotion. And when I am done, I will recite this poem with my lips pressed against your collarbone, your breath tickling the nape of my neck as we lay in bed together. This is a promise binding our souls in our next life. I will find you again. A raindrop in the ocean, a grain of sand in the desert. Our names were written in the fires long before language danced on the tongues of human existence. And I will fight the wind himself to preserve